It's time now for the weekly checkup with Kevin Skulczyck. Griswold and all of the boroughs. Here's Kevin Skulczyck and Mike Minarski.
This is 1690 WJGP Wolverine Radio. It is time for the weekly checkup with Kevin Skulczyck. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, Mike.
I almost didn't make it. I know. Go ahead. You know what?
Get it out of the way?
Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system now.
No, I'm just saying. I think the extra sleep makes you a little groggy in the morning. I think maybe what we need to do is get you up around 5 a.m. I know to go to bed at 4 a.m. And so I'll give you an hour's sleep, especially when we're doing the show. I want you here early. All right?
All right. Anything else? Keep going. Bring it. Just go ahead. I've got it coming to me.
Your shirt's not buttoned correctly. You're off a couple buttons.
Am I really?
No. Just gotcha. Look down.
Well, you're still a snappy dresser, though. We talked about that last night.
That's right. Smell good.
You smell good. Yeah. I creeped Kevin out last night. Told him, I said, you smell good, too, and a snappy dresser.
That's what I do. Thank you. And that's what you do. You creep me out.
That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So, what do you have on your agenda today? What do you want to speak of?
Well, I think we have a guest. Why don't we talk to our important guest today? Somebody that has become a social activist and someone who's going to really change the landscape of the community, especially in the political format. Mr. Philip Flowers, who as we all know in town, is the leading force behind the petition to expand the Board of Selectmen from 3 to 5.
Good morning, Griswold.
Hello, Philip. How are you?
Doing good. How about you, Mike?
Nice to finally meet you. So what? As Kevin was asking, what was your driving force to start the petition?
The driving force is I just think our community can be better represented by two extra selectmen. With 3 selectmen, it seems like they have a little too much on their plate. And I'm not trying to change the way that we govern our town. It's going to be the same type of form of government that we run, which is a selectman-based government. It's just adding 2 more people to help out with the workload. And I think that's what really needs to be clarified. Because I've heard the word change our form of government, change the landscape. We're not doing that. We're keeping the same landscape. We're keeping the same form of government. We're just adding 2 people to help out. And that's what our community needs right now. It needs help.
So when it comes to doing something like this, now I'm admittedly very green when it comes to town administration, town politics, or anything like that. What do you do? I mean, we hear that you've started a petition. You got about 45 signatures. Is that about the number?
45. That's about, I think, what I ended up getting. I only needed 20, but I had a lot of people approach me after I had the 20 that said that they would like to sign the petition, and I didn't want to turn anybody away.
Okay, so it's really just a matter of writing something up and then having people sign it and bringing it down to town hall.
Correct. You've got to go to the town hall, get the paperwork off of our town clerk. You write what you want done, go out, get your 20 signatures, and then you bring it back to the town hall. They register it. It goes in front of our selectmen, and then our selectmen set it up for a meeting.
See, I think that's pretty important to know, Kevin, because I don't think a lot of people will sit and they'll armchair things during the day and they'll say, well, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could change that, and they don't know really the process.
Right, exactly. I think, for all of us, it starts at the local level, the local, state, and then in a national level. And I think the frustration that, as in the background here, I hear our President Obama addressing the nation today. There's so much frustration throughout the political climate, and I think this is an example of what Philip and many of us in our community have faced, is not knowing, not being, really aware of what the process is, how to do it, and also not knowing really how to start something. So, it's been a pleasure for me to be involved with Philip on this project. And when I say involved, just doing some research and really giving him the ammunition to go forward with whatever his plight was. And so I've learned, as Philip's learned along the way. town meeting form of government is probably one of the oldest form of governments from earliest settlers in 1815 when the town was formed in its first government. As we celebrate our bicentennial this year, it was 5 selectmen that sat at that first meeting with less than 1,000 residents in the community, just a little over 1,000 residents in the community. And so, you know, you look at where we've grown. There was a state statute in 1916 that was enacted and gave municipalities with less than 10,000 residents were directed to have no more than 3 selectmen on the board. Now that we've grown to exceed 10,000, and we are somewhere between, I'd have to say, probably closer to 13,000, 12 plus thousand residents, 11 plus thousand residents the last census. But right now I think we're about 12,500 to 13,000. We're in a situation where it's time to have more voices. And in a political climate where parties can rule, control in a community, and I don't want to get into the party politics thing, but the reality is sometimes that's what happens. You get one party, they dominate the political scene landscape for well, it seemed like an eternity, and slowly things are going to start to change. The more voices we get at the table, we'll have an independent there, we'll have a Republican, we'll have a Democrat, we'll have somebody that probably doesn't even think either way but puts their name down on one of the parties or independent, unaffiliated, and they're going to sit at that table and they're going to make the choices collectively because it's the right choice, not for a party choice. Local politics is about dealing with local issues, and I think Mike's right on. I mean, I think Phil's right on with his campaign here for this.
And I think we could possibly get a woman sitting on our panel.
Let's hope
also.
so.
I mean, that would be nice too, to get a woman's perspective on things and get their input and see how they can help our community out, because there's a lot of issues in our community that deal with the women in our community, and maybe getting a woman selectman in there, she can help with those type things.
To that point, I think it's a great point you bring up, Phil, is that we our voices, which we represent the people of the community, they're not a gender specific. It is certainly going to be a real opportunity. We've had in the past Teresa Madonna as a second or third select woman. We've had Ann Hatfield as a first select woman. So it's not that we haven't seen some of that here, but I want to see the barriers in whole be broken down. We want to see the town welcome any and all voices to the table that have positive impact in the future of Griswold. So yeah, to your point, Phil, we hope that many people come out and want to get involved. And I'm a proud father of a daughter who's 15 years old, and she is my boss in my life and tells me what to do, as we all know, having a daughter. But yeah, I want her to run for president someday if that's what she chooses, and I think that's important for this country to start. So I appreciate you acknowledging that's something we want to see actively as well. So.
Now, Philip, is this something? Do you have any political aspirations within town? Was this driven by thinking that maybe, or knowing that maybe you can make a change as well within the town? Was that part of this?
I made sure that I let everybody.
Now, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Are you going to run for public office or anything?
No. I currently sit on Public Health and Safety Committee. I enjoy that. But when I circulated this petition, and I've told many people, I have no intention of running for one of the selectmen spots at all. This was purely driven by, I think there, as Kevin said, I think there needs to be more voices sitting up at that table, more opinions, more ideas. I'd rather have 5 people up there with 5 ideas than 3 people up there with 3 ideas, and get us pointed in the right direction.
All right, well, we have heard from Philip Flowers so far this morning as far as what his petition is. He obtained 45 plus signatures.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on the number, but yeah, I think it was right around 45.
Okay.
Can you do another petition possibly? If I bring it up right now, can we discuss it live on the air?
Sure.
I would like a petition that petitions the radio host to be on time. That's what I want to petition, starting now.
Hey, I think his alarm was set for 6:30, and he got here for 10:30.
Oh yeah, I mean it's appropriate. I know he's got nice hair, he's got to do and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, man, if you can think of the next petition, because you're like our local activist at this point. So, what was that movie with?
Robin Williams.
No, Brockovich or whatever the movie.
Aaron Brockovich.
You are our Aaron Brockovich of
thank you.
Griswold.
Thank you.
And so, yeah.
Philip Aaron Brockovich Flowers, live here at Dean's Corner.
Thank you.
There you go, Aaron.
All right, so we've heard from Philip Flowers and, of course, Kevin Skulczyck. We always hear from Kevin.
Thanks.
Never a dull moment with Kevin here. But that's why the show is called The Weekly Checkup with Kevin Skulczyck. And one thing we need to address really, really quick from a show standpoint is we never announced on the air the winner of Who Named the Show.
Well, I would have thought that the executive meeting that we had, it was going to be done, Michael. So we want to make sure that everyone knows who the winner is. And drum roll, please, from you.
And the winner of the $50 gift certificate to Dean's Corner is Todd Staninsky.
Fast Fingers,
Hey.
Fast Fingers Tzinski.
Congratulations, Todd.
He's I think he might have toured with Def Leppard back in the 80s. I think. I'm not sure. I think
Was he
might have-
deaf or was he leopard?
No, I think he was. No, actually, it was. He was with. Who was he with? No, I can't. I think he.
Maybe Todd will invite the three of us to use that certificate, and we can get him on the air next.
I think he'd be a great perspective. I'd love to have him on the air to hear his perspective, not only on local, but I think we get some national opinions. as
Oh,
well.
I'm sure you will.
$50, I guess Todd's buying.
He's fine.
All right, Todd, so you're going to be buying us breakfast next week here at Dean's Corner on the corner of Main and Ashland Street here on Jewett City, which is a very iconic place in Jewett City. It was Cliff's Corner, Ed's Corner, now it's Dean's Corner, doing great things down here. Dean has got a really great restaurant. I'm going to get myself a tasty sandwich in a couple of minutes.
I expected that to come,
Yeah.
but the one thing that hasn't changed is this is still a corner.
And we're sitting in a corner.
Yeah, we're in the corner of the corner, and here we are.
How cliche.
How cliche.
Anyway, we're going to be back with more with Phil Flowers and First Selectman Kevin Skulczyck live at Dean's Corner. It's the weekly checkup with Kevin Skulczyck. Keep it right here on 1690 WJGP Wolverine Radio.
MyGrizzle.com.